Hello and welcome. I am Bigfoot, and due to popular demand, and by popular demand I mean 4 or 5 specific requests in the comments, this is the first episode of my Let's Play, so let's get into it. I'm going to start up. New game, free play, standard. Okay. So my old strategy with regards to what I set up here would be to just leave all of this at 100%, whatever it's set up as. But what I found is that the ore deposits, they deplete too quickly. It takes as much time to set up an outpost as it does to deplete an outpost. So the moment I've set it up and let it go, set up another one, I've got to replace the old one. So I'm going to set all of these at 300%, just because, well, this is my new strategy. This is the first time I've done it this way. We'll see how it goes. Just give me a little bit more fun, hopefully. Okay, done. Terrain, water, trees. Cliffs are the only thing I don't like. Really hate the cliffs, so I'd get rid of those. Map type. No. Map generator. Rail world. Oh, that's probably changed all of this. Yeah. As I said, I haven't done it this way before. I'm just going to try it out, see what happens. No cliffs. Enemy bases, peaceful mode. Starting area, I'm going to bump it up. So my new strategy is to match whatever I put here with the base with the resources, so that I get the punishment and the return on it as well. Leave all of this. And leave all of this. Okay. Okay. So here is the map. So what I'm going to do now is pause the video and set up my time lapse, because this could take a little while. And hopefully what will happen after the moment I cut, you'll see the opening shots of the time lapse, and then I can get cracking on the base. Right, let's go. Okay, that took a lot longer than I expected it to take. It's been a few months since I set up one of these time lapses. I think I did the last one when I started the last 2000 SPM. It was a good 3 months ago now. And the start is always tricky. I always like to get it right, so it takes a little while. Anyway, so first up, coal. Obviously I need to set up the burner miner drills with something, so I need something to put in the burner miner drill to start it off. Now normally what I imagine most other people do is build a whole lot of burner miner drills, but I hate them. So this start is probably a little bit more laborious for me. What my goal is just to get to electric power as quickly as possible. So if I start building a whole lot of miner drills and wasting resources on those burner miner drills, then it slows my progress towards the electric drills. So yeah, probably got an hour or so of bashing before I get to anything useful where, well, I can start commenting on something interesting. So, power achieved, or at least temporarily. At least until the coal reaches here. A little bit of nursing required. Okay, so what I need now is a few mining drills. How much copper have I got? I need more copper. Alright, so got some reasonable power going on, got some reasonable mines going on, got some reasonable smelting going on. Obviously all of it's needs my input at the moment. Nowhere near at the point where I can start building conveyor belts, but I'm at least producing stuff. You know, not bashing the ground with my fists anymore, which is nice. So the thing I need to achieve now is I need to handcraft a whole load of conveyor belts. I need to handcraft a whole load of inserters and assembly machines. Maybe not assembly machines at this moment, although I will need them. I need to handcraft a whole load of stuff so that I can start building some kind of starter factory. That means I don't have to input this anymore, which is the next goal. That's the next kind of point to be aiming for. The other thing I probably really want to do now is start already start building walls. There's something I always need a lot of. So even if it's just a temporary little setup, I need a lot of walls. So I need to get that going. I want to get that going now, really. Technology, assembly machines, of course. 10. Now, obviously, this is I'm going slow, and for reasons, because the biters, you know, at some point they're going to come out, they're going to seek me out, and they're going to find me. And at the beginning, I'm vulnerable, so I don't really want to make too much noise. I just want to keep things simple until I've got enough resources to kind of build a decent perimeter wall. And enough resources to start kind of having enough turrets. So I'm building away in the background, building lots of stuff because I'm going to need lots of stuff. Yeah. Just going slowly, just tippy-toeing. Okay, so as is always the case with these bases of mine, I've got a grand scheme in mind for where I want the base to go in the long-term future, and in order to kind of plan that out, one thing I need access to before I can really start doing anything is the railways, and this is because the railways they operate on their own grid. So let's just say, for example, I built some walls like this with a 2 gap in the middle, so there's enough space for the railway to go in there. I don't know at this point in time whether this is the grid that the railway operates on, or whether it's this that the railway the grid that the railway operates on. I can't tell you which one it is. So I need to research the railway before I can really start planning out the grand base that I've got in mind and how it intersects with this starter base. This probably isn't a decision that I would always make on my bases, but it's just pertinent to the particular great scheme that I've got in mind for this base. So, although at this point in time I might already be building some kind of form of a starter factory, for this one I would need to wait to research the railways before I can really start. And that's also a factor of the map. I'm just looking at the map and how I might make it work for the base that I've got in mind. And the railway is critical. I want to run the railway. Okay, so I want to run the railway along this line, about where these steam furnaces are at the moment. So I'm going to move these over here in the future, and I want to run a railway along here, and then that will act as the center line for the whole base. So that will be what I orientate the whole base around for the grand plan. But for that I need 2 railway lines and some other bits and pieces that I'm going to put around it, but I need that first so I can find out where these railways are going, and then I can start building the starter factory, which my mind at the moment is going to go here, although if it needs to get bigger it might squeeze up here and then over here. That is the plan as of this moment. So while I wait for all of this stuff to research, I need more, obviously I need more. It's a long way away. I've built up a fair amount of walls, so I'm going to start building some sort of perimeter wall around something so that I've got at least a little bit of protection, a little bit of a warning before the biters start attacking me. I've made myself a few turrets, I've got some ammunition. You may have noticed just then I've set up a few assembly machines to make myself some ammunition so that I've got it when I need it. For the moment, I just need to seal myself in. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew you were coming for me. Oh, and I'm so far away. Come on, little man. Come on, little man. Oh, shit. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yep, yep, yep. I hear you. Right. Well, it seems like I was just in time with my perimeter wall. Okay, happy days. We are enclosed. That's a decent amount of starting area, I reckon. I've got oil, I've got stone. A funny feeling these are going to get in the way. I'm going to address that problem later. Got some nice oil. Ideally, I'd want 2 wall sections. Oh, I've still got a fair amount. Let's reinforce that south end. That seems to be where I'm getting attention. That will do nicely, I reckon, for the time being. Very nicely indeed. Right, where are we? We are 3 hours, 12 minutes in. Not really much has moved in the last couple of hours. You might say that this is all slow, that I'm taking my time. I would say it's more patience. Like, this base is probably going to take me, I don't know, 150 hours, probably more. What is a few hours at the beginning, just tippy-toeing, getting to the point where I want it to be. You know, an extra hour or 2 really isn't going to make a whole grand scheme of difference once I get to the end. My perimeter wall's doing okay, so I've got 8 turrets. They seem to be protecting me quite well. And I finally got to the railways, or at least researching it anyway. So not too far away from some actual real life building, hopefully, once this is finished anyway. Okay, an hour or so later, just under an hour, I now have all of the things I think I need. All of the half, I can at least make a decent start at my starter factory. That's what I want to start. So all of this needs to go. Although what I do want to do first is start up the time lapse. That's a good idea, Nick. It's a good idea. Yep, okay. Right. So this is where I want the railway to be. 1, 2, and then here, which of course it can't. Yeah, this is what I mean by operating on its own grid. It can't go right up against that wall. It has to go one away, so I need to move the wall. So this is the railway that's going to link the centre of the base to any outposts that go west of the base. But also what I need it to do is I need 2 pipes, one for light oil, one for heavy oil for my flamethrower turrets. I like to alternate which all I use. I don't want to use all of the same. And then I want 2 conveyor belts, one for ammunition and one for artillery shells. And that's going to feed my perimeter wall, or at least it will do at some point in the future. Long time in the future. Right. So this is the boundary. This is the upper boundary of my starter base, well, the beginning of anyway. And then down here, oh, I need to get rid of all this. Okay. So one thing you might notice, I've done one down there. I don't generally just put a chest out in the middle of nowhere and put stuff in it, because I'll lose it. So I surround it with other chests so that I can find it. I mean, this will even come up on the map. So it's much easier to find a single chest on its own. That's the idea anyway. So for my grand plan, I need a boundary here, which I'm going to put here. Obviously this ore patch isn't going to stay this size forever. It's going to get slowly depleted. And then I want that sort of a gap. And then I want 15. And a 2 gap. Okay. So this forms the right hand edge of my starter base. This is the, yeah. Now paths for the moment, I'm not worried about paths for the moment. They'll be somewhere else. Don't know where they're going to go yet, so I don't really want to limit myself by what happens in the future. So I'm just leaving those for the moment. And then I need some furnaces for my smelting. I want 48 of them. So that's 8 groups of 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So 6 of these stone furnaces will do a single yellow belt. And then, not 6, 48 of these stone furnaces will do, so as a single yellow belt of ore. And then if I want to upgrade, I can make them steel furnaces, and it'll work with a red belt of ore. That's the logic. Will I ever make that? I don't think I'll ever make that amount of ore. I don't think I'll ever need that, but I've got to build something. So that's the plan. So one of these is going to be for iron. In fact, this one will be copper. And then I'm going to put another one here, which will be for iron. Oh. Is that right? That is right. Okay. And then inputs. Okay. Inserters. So let's just put this on hold for a second while I have a think. Steel. Steel is what I need. This might all seem a little bit unusual for me to be doing this. I don't really want to give the game away just yet about what it is that I'm trying to do. But it might be obvious, I don't know. So now I want, what am I going to need? I'm going to need chips and I'm going to need gears. Both of which will need iron, which is this one. Okay, I'm just going to have a little pause and another little think. I mean, this is generally how it goes for me with this stuff. I build it as I feel like it. You know, I need some copper cables. How many assembly machines do I need? Oh, that will go there. And especially with these starter factories, you know, it's just a case of getting the things that I need it to produce. It doesn't really matter. I'm not really looking about elegance. I'm not really looking to get the right amount of assembly machines and everything working perfectly. Ultimately, this is just about making sure that it makes all of the things that I need to make. So I'm just kind of feeling my way. You know, I haven't got a plan in my head of where everything's going to go. I'm just kind of, okay, I need this, and I need this, and then I'm just doing that. And then every now and then I take a step back and have a little think. Am I going on the right path? Does it look right? I mean, okay, so what I'm thinking at the moment is that this space here is going to be tricky to use. I suppose I can bring anything I need down this way and in like so, but it's just a little bit of an awkward space. So I don't know whether I'm going to be able to use that. But if I don't, then I'm probably going to have to delete that ore patch, because this is probably going to come, it's going to stretch all the way over here. So this is going to be right in the way. How much is in that ore patch? Yeah, it's a real shame to get rid of it, but I suppose I do have quite a lot. But then that one's going to be in the way as well. That one's going to be in the way as well. So I might have to come up with a strategy of keeping that somehow. So yeah, that's what I'm just thinking about at the moment. I've paused the time lapse. I'm just having a little step back and a little ponder. So, pondering over, what I've decided to do is concentrate on what I need. So what I need is conveyor belts and inserters. Do I need to deal with them separately? No, I'm going to deal with them at the same time. Okay. Okay, so the quandary I'm coming to is, do I want to put these in my starter factory? Yes is the answer. So I'm going to have to, what else can I put here? I could put inserters here. Okay. I mean, it's too good not to. It fits perfect. So as part of my pondering, what I've decided is I'm going to put my science down here. I mean, science is a dead-end process. If I put it down here, fills a bit of space. So that's inserters, which I don't need it for anything else. I'm not making filter inserters. I won't need those until I get to nuclear power. So I can wait a little while before worrying about those. Keep forgetting with the time lapse. Right, so here's the thing about this particular Let's Play endeavour. Ordinarily, I'm only concentrating on two things when I'm making one of these factories, and you're probably only when you play, you're probably only concentrating on one, because I'm trying to do the time lapse. And the time lapse is something that you just can't. Oh, you can't just ignore it. That's got to come through here. What's that for? That's for stone landfill. Why is that coming through here? I have to deal with that over here. Yeah, so I'm normally... The time lapse is a right old pain. And I am constantly turning it on and off because I'm pausing, I'm pondering, I'm thinking about stuff. I'm constantly forgetting to put it back on again. But now I have a third thing to worry about, and that's talking to you guys. So I've got three things to worry about, making three things all at once. I'm making a factory, I'm making a time lapse, and I'm making the Let's Play videos as well. Something's going to come a cropper at some point. I can feel it in my bones. Right, where was I? Oh no, that stone wasn't for landfill, it was for railways. 1, 2, 3, 4. That stone was for railways. I need that stone. There I am. Yeah, I need that stone. And what I want now is some conveyor belt stuff. Conveyor belt stuff. So I need... Let's start off at the beginning with the easy bits. Iron plate and transport belt. Okay. Is it even right? Is it even right? So, oh, we need iron plate for here, which that wouldn't work very well. Yep. Okay, happy? Well, not happy, but it works. Okay. Need another ponder. Need another ponder. Okay. Maybe I should make a list. That's a good idea. I'm going to make a list. That's what I'm going to do. Right, well, what I've decided to do is to put engines here. Mainly because I've got gears right here. I mean, there we go, we've got to be a bit cleverer. Okay, pipes done, engine done. What else is on my list? Lights and power. Light and power. Stick, steel and copper. So I can do... So, steel. Yep. Iron plate. Yep. Iron bar. Yep. Just need some copper. Copper is the bottom one. Okay, well that's worked out really well, other than that I forgot to turn on the time lapse. What a pain in the backside. Alright, so I need something to go here now, and I'd imagine what's probably a good idea is to do the railway, because I've got the stone right here. So, railways. So, just to give you a breakdown of my science in my starter factory, I do red, I do green, and then I also do black. I do black science because I want to be able to upgrade my weapons, so that, because at some point in time these weapons they're not good enough. So I need black science as well. So that's going to need to be something like this. I really want to get to ammunition and turrets before I start switching stuff on. But maybe I can't. I am running out of resources. I'm running out of my little stockpile that I had built up. What have I got in here? Alright, that's a chunk. That's a chunk. Alright, okay. Alright, a little pause for all of this stuff to build then. Maybe we can do some more thinging, more building. Or maybe turning it on. I'm not far away from turning it on. That's probably where I am about now. So what I'm doing here, I need to make use of this coal patch. So I need to build around it. So I need to plumb it in and then build whatever I need to build around it so that I keep it, because I need it. So I've routed it in such a way that it's annoying to me, so that at some point in time I'm gonna have to come back and change it, because it's in the wrong place. It's clearly in the wrong place. It's out of the way, so it's not gonna stop me from carrying on building, but it's going to annoy me that it's in the wrong place. So at some point I'm going to have to route that back in. Maybe down here, we'll see. I'm not sure about that yet. It will happen. So I need to keep up with my grand plan. That's what I need to do. Probably about time to start thinking about zooming out a little bit. Yeah, I think I need to zoom out a little bit. Down here is going to start getting cramped, and I've got no space here, so... Oh, and my mind is not even on the picture. That's a bit pooey. Right, okay, zoom out. Next. So, time lapse is now done. Now transition from one shot to the next. So, let's have a look, see what we got. This is where we started, and this is where we are now. I need a little bit of a zoom out, not a lot, but enough. Okay, so I think I'm going to call it a day for there. Where am I with the time? 7¼ hours. Yeah, that's probably a decent day's effort. There's a lot of work there done today. I'm pleased with my progress. But it's time to start editing. Okay, so till next time.